not make a road banked simply. So there are some features we have to do. Why we make banked road? In order to avoid skidding. In order to avoid skidding, we have to use a banked road. Okay, so that is the use of the banked road. As we compare to other road, whenever there's a curves are there, we have to make the road banked. Then how we make the banked road? Outer edge of the road where we are taking the turn, where we are taking the turn, then outer edge of the road, that will be raised little above. Outer edge of the road will be raised little above than other part of the road or middle part of the road. So that is how we make banked. So this kind of road around the curves is known as banked roads. Okay, and this process of making a road is known as banking. So those who want, you can write it down. What do you mean by banking of roads? Banking of road is used. Banking of road is used to avoid. Banking of road is used to avoid skidding. Avoid skidding of the vehicles. Avoid skidding of the vehicle. And it also can reduce friction. It also can reduce friction at curves. At curves. The banking of the roads, next line, the banking of the road is done. Banking of road at curves is done. The banking of road at curves is done by raising the outer side of the road, by raising the outer side of the road, a little above the inner side. Outer side of the road a little above the inner side. Above the inner side. Okay. Next line, angle of banking. Angle of banking. What do you mean by angle of banking? It is the angle between, it is the angle between the surface of the road, and horizontal component of the force. Okay, horizontal component of the force, actually, which is the force we act here, normal reaction force, because already we have said that normal reaction force is directly proportional to frictional force. Why? Because it is the centripetal force which is acting as a frictional force. So, we can write it that because of the banking, the vehicles obtain one speed where the entire reciprocal force, sorry, not reciprocal, sorry, centripetal force, not reciprocal, centripetal. Entire centripetal force is supplied. Entire centripetal force is supplied. Entire centripetal force is supplied. So there won't be absence of friction and centripetal force becoming equal. So we say that no friction. So we say that in that case, there is no friction because friction is converting into centripetal force actually. Okay. So in that case, whatever is the frictional force we are getting, that will be equal to the diagram here. So this is the how we resolve the components. And I said in this case, N is representing the normal reaction force. That is why I told we can use, instead of R, we can use N also. Okay. So if you look at here, this is a car. It is moving on a curve. Okay. In a curved side, and the resultant force is acting this way, and then it is resolved into two components, r cos theta and r sin theta, because it is making an angle theta. Okay, angle theta. So this is the normal reaction force. This is resolving components r cos theta, r sin theta. Okay, so that is how in a, and also there is another forces which is acting is weight of the car. There is another force which is acting is weight of the car. So this is how acting. Therefore, at this point, when frictional force is zero, at this point, when frictional force is zero, I mean, if you can write not zero, you can write in the absence of frictional force, in the absence of frictional force, you can write it. The horizontal component r sin theta, horizontal component r sin theta, r sin theta is equal to mv square by r. At this point, r sin theta is equal to mv square by r. mv square by r. Okay. So that is about the banking. Now we are going to obtain what is the difference between unbanked road and banked road. Unbanked road, what is the equation we get it? And in a banked road, what is the equation we get it? So that is what we are going to obtain it. One slide. No, one slide is disappeared. It's okay. So we can write it down now. We can write it down now. Car on a circular level road. So we are now taking unbanked road. We are taking unbanked road. So we can take it that is as car in a circular level road. Car in a circular level road. Consider a car of mass m. Consider a car of mass m. Consider a car of mass m, capital M. Please use the letter capital M. Consider a car of mass m moving along a circular level road with a uniform speed v. With a uniform speed v. Consider a car of mass m moving along a uniform speed v. Let r be the radius. Let r be the radius of the curvature of the road. Let r be the radius of curvature of the road. Radius of curvature of the road. The forces which is acting the forces which are acting on the car are, so we are going to first find out which are the force and its opposite reaction force. So the forces which are acting on the car are, one you already know. What is that? Weight of the car. Weight, mg of the car. Weight, mg of the car. Vertically downwards. Vertically downwards. Vertically downwards. Vertically downwards. Balanced with number 2, normal reaction force. Normal reaction force. Normal reaction force. So, if you look at this one, in your textbook, there's a diagram is shown in the circular road. So, this is the circular road, unbanked road, and we are having a object here, a car is here. So what we do means, in this case it is unbanked, we assume that the car is moving straight line motion. So this is mg and this is n. If you draw a tangent there, you can see the car is the forces which is acting vertically downward and upward. One is mg, one is r. Okay, so we are getting r is equal to mg. R is equal to mg. Or we can say r minus mg is equal to 0. So since it's a uniform speed, so what is that? No acceleration. So if I accelerate only, there will be unbalanced force. In this case, there is no presence of unbalanced force because car is moving with a uniform speed. So there is no acceleration. That's why we could write r is equal to mg. Third force which is acting is the centripetal force. The centripetal force acting on the car is directed towards the center of the circle. Directed towards the center of circle. Center of the circle. Thus we can say, centripetal force provide necessary force of friction. So there is no need of additional force of friction. Necessary force of friction. Between the tires of the car and the road. Where it act? Between the tires of the car or road. Okay. Thus we can write it that force of friction, that is Fs is equal to, we can write mv square by small r, centripetal force. Fs is equal to mv squared by r, or we can write, instead of Fs, we can write mu s r is equal to mv square r. So we can say that centripetal force as normal reaction force horizontally, even though we know normal reaction act vertically, but in this case we can get a balanced equation between frictional force and this. So we can, instead of that, we can write mu s r is equal to mv squared by r, and what is mu? So mu is the coefficient of friction, we already learned. Mu s is the coefficient of friction between tires and rod. Thus, for Thus, for safe, so it is also is a curve. So for a safe turning, but it is unbanked road. So for safe turning, the centripetal force should be, for safe turning, centripetal force should be less than or equal to. It can be less than also sometimes, because in order to have a kinetic friction at that edges. So centripetal force less than or equal to force of friction. Less than or equal to force of friction. Thus we can write it mv squared by r, less than or is equal to fs, and instead of that we can write f is mv square by comparing both equation. If you look at the first equation, we have written r is equal to mg. Okay, so when you compare, if you consider the coefficient of friction in the case of first equation, this also going to be mu sr is equal to mg. Now first equation and this equation we are combining together. First equation and second equation we are combining together. Then you will get mv square, r is frictional force, it is also is equal to mg. Okay, why? There is no change in acceleration here, no acceleration. So both can be equal when you consider about a car is moving with a constant speed. So first equation and second equation we are combining together and we are getting this one. mv squared by r less than or is equal to mg. Now cross multiply the equation, then you will get mv square is equal to mrg cross multiply okay, or we can also write mv square or less than or equal to by multiplying with the coefficient of friction. We can modulate the same equation once again. Okay, this is also capital M. We can modify little more the same equation, because both equation is equal to multiply with the mu r. That is why how we equated. So we can use that also. And another step we can do is, here also m, here also mass is capital M. So this is centripetal force, main equation is mv square by r, that is small m, but in this we are used to capital M. So you can interchange that small m into capital M. So this m and this m got cancelled. So now we are only remaining with v squared r less than equal to mu g. If you want, you can just write S, no problems. Okay, mu is understood, it is coefficient of friction. Now what you will get? V squared is equal to mu S Rg. Therefore, the speed of the car at this point is V is equal to square root of mu S Rg. So if you calculate this, you will be able to get how all the vehicles in an unbanked road at the curve, when they come, they have this speed, square root of mu S Rg. That is radius of that road, radius of curvature of the road into gravitational force into coefficient of friction. Afterwards, you will be finding what is the value of mu S. You should know how to calculate mu S. That we will be learning after this. Okay. How can you get the value of mu S? R you know, radius of the circular road. G you know. Then how can you get the value of mu S? So what we did, first we get a set of equation. In vertical direction, normal reaction and weight is equal. In the horizontal direction, we are talking instead of frictional force, we are having centripetal force. Then centripetal force and frictional force equated. Once it equated, we can equate that with the gravitation, I mean weight of the car. And from that, by multiplying with the coefficient of friction, then you are getting the same equation. We are equating with that, and you are getting the speed of the car or speed of any vehicle on a circular level road which is unbanked. It is unbanked. Circular level road means this is unbanked road. Okay. So finally we are getting equation square root of mu s rg. Okay. Now, how can you get the value of mu s? That is the next step. Can I change, children? Are you okay? So this is everything on the base of free body diagram. But now in this situation, we are having a new concept is included frictional force. Okay. So for vertical direction, horizontal direction, all we were only talking about normal reaction force, gravitational force. Frictional force is negligible. The morning session we have done, means yesterday and we did the problem in the absence of frictional force. Now, same concept we are doing in the presence of frictional force. So that is the only difference between what you study free body diagrams in the last class and now what are you studying with the frictional. Okay? Yes. Now, okay, so let us now go to next one, angle of friction. Angle of friction. Next heading. How can you get the value of mu s? For that, we have to calculate angle of friction. That means whenever object is taking a curve, it is making an angle theta, correct? So you should know what is theta. That is what we are going to do. Okay. So for that, we can just ask an object in an inclined plane. Instead of a car handle, you just take an object which is moving in an inclined plane downwards. So let us have a block or any object, and gradually gravitational force or weighting force is acting vertically. Then what happened? It resolved into two components, cos theta and sin theta. So this is also on the basis of parallelogram law. So this is our resultant force. So just assume that it is resolving to two components. And what is theta? Theta is this. And here also the plane is making an angle theta. And corresponding weight force, we have normal reaction force acting vertically. Now, object is coming this direction, so there is a frictional force is acting in opposite direction. Static friction acting in opposite direction. It is the friction which is before the object is moving. So Fs is in acting opposite direction. So this is resolving to cos theta, adjacent side by hypotenuse. So we can take it, this is as cos theta and this is going to be sin theta. And by parallelogram law, sin theta, these both sides are equal. So we can write it here as mg sin theta. And this one, what we have got, mg cos theta. Because opposite sides, parallelogram is equal. So this resolving components. So I hope you completed the diagram. From the given diagram, the angle of inclination, I think in your maths you must have studied inclination, elevation and all that. Okay. So from the diagram, the angle of inclination of the plane is slowly increase until 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 a body of mass small m resting on the plane small m resting on the plane is about to slide down thus this angle of inclination is known as limiting angle of friction or angle of repose. Another word, angle of repose, angle which is objective. The force, the angle of repose means the angle formed due to opposite force which is acting on an object which is moving. That is angle of repose. Thus, the forces acting on the body, forces acting on the body. One, we have already mentioned, one is weight of the body. Vertically downwards. Always when you mention the forces, please indicate the direction in the paper also. Vertically, I am just writing short form. You write it in a very good manner when you write in the exam. Now you write short. And normal reaction force. That is capital R. And also, third one, there is a presence of friction. So, limiting static friction. Parallel to the plane upwards. Okay. Next line, by resolving mg into mg cos theta and mg sin theta. By resolving mg into mg cos theta, bracket you can write perpendicular to plane is a vertical. This one is parallel. So, opposite to mg sin theta, the one which is acting is maximum limiting static friction. So, by looking at the diagram, you know, mg sin theta in opposite to that fx maximum, that is equation 1. Similarly, vertical component mg cos theta, the equal force which is acting in opposite direction is normal reaction force. Then we have to find out 1 divided by 2 mg sin theta by mg cos theta. You are getting tan theta. Tan theta is equal to fx by r. Fs by r. Then what is Fs by r? Already we know Fs is equal to, we have learned mu s, the coefficient of friction, mu s in terms of. So Fs by r actually is equal to mu s. That is what we studied in the beginning, static friction. So this is equal to mu s. So from this, what is the value of mu s? So coefficient of friction can be calculated by finding tan theta. You don't have to take tan inverse. Tan theta, you take it, you get a value because it's a coefficient. So you don't have to write it that in degree. Suppose if asked what is the angle of repose? What is angle of repose or angle of friction? Then you have to write tan inverse mu s. So you can just add that one sentences. Therefore, this is coefficient. Coefficient we will not write in terms of theta, correct? So that is why coefficient mu s is equal to tan theta. Then angle of friction. Angle of friction is equal to tan inverse, no? Tan theta, whichever value you get. So theta is equal to tan inverse mu s. In case the question is asked you angle of friction, we have to take out the tan inverse. Okay? Okay, children. So tangent of the angle of friction gives the coefficient. So from this, what you understand, tangent of angle of friction gives coefficient. Okay? So one more small topic is left, banked road expression from this chapter. Then 1 or 2 problems using this. Then next Monday we will finish. Okay. And also Tuesday also we have. Tuesday I wanted to have a copy of logarithmic table because that day I think I got 4 periods. So one period I thought of teaching you logarithmic table. So Tuesday we can have the logarithmic table. Learning how to find out theta and all. Okay, children? So thank you. Already finished the time.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Have a nice evening. Take a little more rest and then sit and study by 6 or 7 o'clock. Okay. Thank you.